When I heard the pop of a skull giving up its secrets, felt the root and stem of a cleft brain stopping the blade, I realized where that axe really belonged. Dead center of the good professor's head.
What's up, everybody? Greg and Ryan here to go over a few theories in Castle Rock and what we want to see in Season 2.
Now, there are major Season 1 spoilers ahead, so make sure you're all caught up before you watch this video. But first, make sure to subscribe to Universe. We got you covered for comic deep dives, TV breakdowns, and movie reviews. Right now, you can catch Greg and the other Ryan doing American Horror Story. Also, by subscribing, you can enter to win this month's giveaway. We'll have more details at the end of this video.
Okay, my opinion hasn't changed from the finale. Since then, still the same. I loved everything the show had to offer except for its finale. That's it. That's the only fault I had is episode 10. And also, if the critical consensus out there seems to be all over the place from I absolutely hated it to it's perfect. You just don't understand the real meaning behind it. It's all over the place right now.
Every week that we covered this show, we got tons of really interesting theories in the comments. Honestly, if you watch our videos and haven't been to the comments, you owe yourself. And the finale was no exception. There were many interesting theories, even with almost total consensus that the finale was a letdown. And I do think that is a testament to how engaging the season was as a whole, because the finale was, well and truly, extremely weak from a storytelling and filmmaking standpoint. Lynchian ambiguity is not a shortcut or a way out of tying up a narrative. One commenter last week said it was like bad fan fiction. And I think that there is a kernel of truth to that insofar as the story is fan fiction. I think there's sort of no ambiguity, especially after episode 9, that it's less of a show that's operating in like Stephen King canon as much as just based on Stephen King and having fun with a lot of his characters and ideas. Stephen King himself implored viewers to stop trying to find all the references in the show and just enjoy it. That is probably good advice from a satisfaction standpoint, but let's be honest. Everybody who watched this first season along with us had a blast trying to make sense of it. And with that in mind, let's get on to some of what we want
Season 2.
From Season 2.
Okay, before we get started, now while it's cool to fantasize about all the different Stephen King novels and short stories that they could pull from for Season 2, we have to remember that this story takes place in Castle Rock, Maine. It's titled Castle Rock, so keep your expectations in check.
What is cool though with like the sort of multiversy stuff that they set up is that there is a little bit of wiggle room there.
Just a little. Just
like a tiny bit of room for, you know, a little bit more to be included. But it would definitely be, I think, a misstep to veer completely off into like another land and still be calling it Castle Rock.
Yeah, there's no overlooked hotel.
Right.
The overlooked or whatever. That's not to say they won't go at some point. It's not going to be the whole season, I don't think.
What is cool about the multiversy thing that they do in Season 1 is that just about anything can fit into that box.
Yeah.
And it is maybe way too early to veer all the way away from the town itself.
But Jerusalem's a lot.
Speaking of all of the multiversy stuff, I hope we get more of the schisma and the interdimensional like concept.
Yes.
You know, I hope that the showrunners don't retreat from that, because so many of us kind of
questions.
Like had a negative reaction to the finale. Like, I don't think that points to a problem with that concept. I think they should keep going with it. I think it was a strong part of the season. You know, they just didn't stick the landing, but they shouldn't quit the sport. Like, get back on the horse and keep riding. Like, you can do it. Don't run away.
Just go into the screenplay like, whatever, we're going in even harder, that's fine.
Yeah, it is something that like Legion did, right? Like Legion was kind of off the wall in Season 1, and they just hit the ground running in Season 2. Like unapologetically kept going. And I think that, or I hope that the showrunners, they've probably turned this video off a long time ago, but hopefully they don't lose like the will to keep going with that.
Well,
I think they did a good job.
We're talking about this post-Twin Peaks return TV scenario right now. Like Legion really felt like a post-Twin Peaks return kind of show. I think Castle Rock, to a point, also did that.
Yeah.
Stay on that horse. Keep going with that. It's fine. We can ask these questions over and over again. What does this mean? What does this mean? It's fine.
I would also love to see more of like an ensemble cast get going. Mm-hmm. You know, some of my favorite Stephen King stories have a lot of characters in them. Mm-hmm. You know, like Needful Things is one of them, and even The Mist with all the people in one place.
Under the Dome.
I really like how King uses lots of characters and to create sometimes chaos and sometimes cohesion. I think he's a kind of an artist in that way. I'd like to see more of that from the show. It almost feels weird to be like way too focused on one character. And with a town like Castle Rock, which has so much in the King canon, it also feels a little strange not to meet like everybody in town. You know, Castle Rock has all the shopkeepers and the parish, and like there's all these groups that we should get to know.
Yeah, I mean, you have multiple characters that could return with the same amount of screen time they got from season 1. Should this show take place in the same world, I guess, in the same present day Castle Rock?
Same time period, not necessarily same version.
Maybe it's a little flipped, and maybe Alan's alive in this one, but I
mean, they opened that door.
Maybe.
They opened that door right away.
Yes, they did, which seems like they're gonna have to come back to that at some point.
Like we can have, they can kill off characters and bring them back in this show. It is totally plausible at this point. But there are a lot of characters they did not kill off that still could show up, right?
Dean Merrill, the Reverend. And of course, you have the creepy kids from the mock trial.
Guilty! 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 Guilty!
Oh yeah.
Come on.
I think they would be my favorite return.
That's mine. Bring them back.
Bring back the mock trial kids. Hashtag bring back the mock trial kids.
There we go. Mock trial kids sounds like some ABC morning cartoon.
I'll tweet it after we're done shooting here.
And then, of course, you have Odin and Willy. Sure, if it's a prequel, if it's in the past,
or just
maybe.
another version where Odin didn't get mysteriously murdered.
That's gonna be so confusing.
Or maybe it's the one constant. Like every season has Odin getting murdered.
Hey, I like that. Or it's Willy's now. He has the schisma. It's the reverse.
They
Willy's
reverse.
Death.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
They're always trucking around that filter, though.
I had this uncle, though. He was redder, too. And then one winter, he just flipped his lid and tried to axe murder his wife and kid at some fancy ski resort. And my folks will never talk to me about it. So I took his name just to piss them off. My real name's Diane.
Okay, there's one thing that we do know that's gonna happen in Castle Rock that's outside of this season, and that's Jackie Torrance is on her way to the Overlook Hotel. Now, are we gonna get anything about that? Who knows? At the same time, what if this is a prequel, which most anthology series, they kind of go back and forth, present day, and then we go to a different timeline altogether. So if season 2 happens to be somewhere in the past, why not 1921, Overlook Hotel, Jackie finds herself in a Finney, boom, that's how you get there. Just saying.
I could see that. It would be a little way of like almost sort of re-explaining the end of the Stanley Kubrick film.
By the way, that's just us shooting off because that will never happen because Stephen King hates that movie. So I highly doubt they're gonna go back to 1921 Overlook based on that photo. It's not happening.
But why?
I think one thing that is going to happen, though, almost certainly, is a return of Jackie Torrance.
Yes.
I think that if there is any character in the entire show
Who's the constant
that will return for another season, it's gonna be Jackie. Like, she was somebody who was kind of up in everybody's business, and you kind of get the impression that she's up in everybody's business.
Even when it made no sense for her to even show up there.
Oh, episode 10, when she's helping Ruth like
Oh,
get
yeah.
to her room, and it's like never been established yet in the season that they even know each other. I mean, I know it's a small town, but like, what's she doing there?
I mean, hey, it's cool.
She's just
Jackie's there. She's got your back.
She's the partially psychopathic do-gooder around town. She's got the taxi, picks you up, you know, if you get too drunk, you gotta ride home, like, but maybe also, well, actually definitely also an axe murderer. The multiverse, interdimensional idea too is definitely on the minds of the showrunners.
Yep.
In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Sam Shaw said, "The penultimate episode of this season points to the idea that there are other worlds than these, and in the final tag there's this sense that there are worlds of Stephen King's that this show may explore eventually that are more far-flung than the state of Maine." Well, not a character per se, but we also saw the town of Jerusalem's Lot when Wendell got off the bus the one time. So there's definitely room for that to reappear in some way.
I mean, they don't have to go to the town. Like we said, it's in Castle Rock, but that doesn't mean that some of those characters and themes from that town can make its way over to Castle Rock. I mean, it's a short trip.
Right.
Wendell walked it. So I'm just saying, they can bring in that theme if they still want to go that route next season. If they want to do a monster of some kind, you got Jerusalem's Lot right there.
It definitely feels like they've got the room, or at least the interest to sort of, you know, show's called Castle Rock, but it's still very much like Stephen King's Maine.
Yeah.
You know, it'll have Derry and Salem's Lot and a few of the other towns that appear in those stories.
With that said, what other short stories, novels, IPs can the showrunners pull from King's work? I don't know if they're going to go that route with, you know, Dead Zone, or which would be cool. Honestly, it's pretty cool. Someone has powers, can see the future, just touches somebody. We've been there before. We've had, what, 6 or 7 seasons of the Dead Zone, so I don't think they're going to go that route.
Probably not.
Yeah, no one's going to have that kind of power. But at the same time, what can they pull from this time around? I feel like it's going to go the route of more Monster of the Week. I just get that vibe, no matter what.
I could see that, but you know, speaking to what Shaw said and the possibility of, you know, veering away down the road, I know that this isn't necessarily for season 2, but I would also like to see like a veering into some more of the sci-fi type stuff, like get some Running Man, get some Lawnmower Man, like get into the more sci-fi side of Stephen King.
The Lawnmower Man.
Actually, in an interview with Slash Film, Sam Shaw said, "There are these kind of cosmic stories about the struggle between good and evil. And part of the pleasure of trying to approach this season was the thought that we'd be judicious and tell one kind of a story, and hope to have the latitude to come back in a future season and tell a great monster story set in 1974. A different kind of story." So we definitely maybe got some monsters coming.
70s zombie monster, zombie vampire monster of the week. I'm all for that. If they're gonna go the Grindhouse, schlocky Stephen King route of like a 90s Stephen King TV show, go for it.
Oh, I mean, or like the Creepshow movies in sort of like that direction. Or heck, I mean, go back to like Cujo and Christine, like that kind of stuff. The, you know, the thing that terrorizes the town.
Yeah, what killer thing? Are we gonna get a killer thing finally?
I mean, I think just about all of us, when Pangborn was at that wrecking yard, thought he was gonna find Christine there.
Yeah, I swear, I want to go back and look again. I thought they would have the car there somewhere. That's the perfect place to put it. But are we gonna get a killer can, killer dog, killer ice cream truck,
Killer camera, killer doll.
killer rats, killer video game system, a killer fridge,
Killer toys, killer typewriter.
killer Stephen King?
This machine just called me an asshole.
Okay, everybody, we are giving away a Guardians of the Galaxy Drax and Groot statue from our friends at fun.com. Entering is easy. Subscribe to our channel and click the giveaway link in the description below. Okay, those are all of the things that we want in the second season of Castle Rock for now.
Now, let us know what you all want in the comment section down below.
Like Killer Beach Ball.
Killer Xbox.
Killer Telephone.
Killer Microphone.
Killer Toaster Oven. Killer Cheese Wheel.
Killer Light Bulb.
Killer Wheelchair.
Killer Cotton Candy Machine. Oh, beat that. Ooh, that's a good one. Yes.
Oh.
Top that.
Ah.